Hey, what's up, guys? Mike here with Practical Training Professionals. As you know, guys, we have a open door policy on this channel. If you guys have comments, suggestions, questions, anything like that you want us to answer, all you have to do is shoot us down in the comments below. You can leave us a comment there and ask a question, or you could shoot myself, Mike at PTPGun.com, an email. It really is that simple, guys. Well, today we're going to jump into some of that Q&A stuff, and I want to talk about a few questions that we've had. Now, these are generally Maryland specific, but they apply across the United States. We're going to be looking all the way back to the 1994 assault weapons ban, all the way up to where we are today. And we're going to be looking at things and defining what is an assault weapon. And for that, we're going to be looking at an assault long gun, an assault pistol, and a copycat weapon. All right, guys. So everything that you're going to need, all your supporting documents, all that stuff, anything I cite today, guys, is going to be over on the website at PTPGun.com and also down in the description below. So you can just click right through and take you over there. Some of the videos we're going to reference here for this is like in the past, we did a video on the Maryland handgun roster. There'll be something similar in this video. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you turn on notifications. Just share this with a buddy. Make sure you're commenting down below and interacting with the channel. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I want to do is we want to go ahead and head over here to, this is, again, you guys know where to find this stuff. It's on Maryland General Assembly, but this is the criminal law section for Tag 301. And this is what kind of gives us the definitions of some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. All right. So the assault long gun, that's essentially your assault rifle. That's covered in a different section, as you'll see here. That's in the public safety articles in section 5, subsection 102, paragraph R, subparagraph 2. We'll get to that. All right. In this right here, what it talks about is the assault long gun, the assault pistol. And if we scroll down a little bit, guys, it also talks about a copycat weapon. All right. So let's just start here at the top and let's go ahead and talk about an assault pistol. Now, the definition of assault pistol means that it's got a few things that are going to make it illegal. All right. But the most common thing that's going to make it illegal is if it's on this list right here. All right. Now what this list is, and again, these are numerated, they're numbered. So what that means is they're enumerated. That term will come in handy later. All right. But essentially you could look on this and say if any of the following firearms are copies of these firearms or of the producer or manufacturer, they are going to be an assault pistol. They'll require very special treatment in the state of Maryland, okay? But some of the stuff we'll look at here is, you know, the Ingram MAC-10. We've all heard that, right? The SP-89, the MP-9, all of these terms, all this stuff, right? We've seen these. We know that they're generally going to be assault type pistols according to the, you know, anti-2A establishment. All right. Also your Uzi semi-automatic pistol, your Nighthawk, or your Linda pistol made by Wilkinson semi-automatic. Now, an assault weapon, again, this just kind of goes into definitions. Your assault weapon means an assault long gun, an assault pistol, which we just covered, or a copycat weapon. All right. There's some language here that it kind of hits on some stuff like the binary trigger system, which we're not getting into, the bump stock, the burst trigger system, all of that stuff. You kind of know what that is. Bump stock is touchy. All right. And again, we'll get into that in a future episode, guys. But what's important here is to look at what a copycat weapon is. All right. So copycat means something that has some of these features: a semi-automatic center fire rifle that can accept a detachable magazine and has any two of the following: a folding stock, a grenade launcher, a flare launcher, or a flash suppressor. Okay. Or a semi-automatic center fire rifle that has a fixed magazine with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds. Now pay attention, guys. That's a center fire rifle. It doesn't apply to like your 22 long rifles. All right. That are magazine, that have a fixed magazine. All right. It has to be center fire. Now, or a centerfire rifle that has an overall length of less than 29 inches. That's important. We'll come back to that, less than 29 inches here in a second. A semi-automatic pistol with a fixed magazine that could accept more than 10 rounds. All right, so that's that fixed magazine. Or a semi-automatic shotgun that has a folding stock, or a shotgun with a revolving cylinder. What a copycat weapon does not include is an assault long gun or an assault pistol. We just talked about those up at the top, and we'll get into what the assault long rifle is here in a second, the assault long gun. All right. Detachable magazine. Again, guys, this is a lot of talking here. I don't want to waste your guys' time. If you're interested in learning more about this, I encourage you guys to head over to the website, PTPGun.com. You'll find the blog that talks about this stuff. You could click through and download these files so you have them on your computer. You can research at your own time. All right. But a lot of this stuff, rapid trigger activator, rapid fire trigger activators, again, licensed firearm dealer. This is all definitions. Hellfire trigger, flash suppressor. Right. What's a flash suppressor? It means a device that functions or is intended to function to perceptibly reduce or redirect muzzle flash from the shooter's field of vision. Some people will call it a spark arrestor. All right. It really is up to you guys to understand what it is that's bolted onto your firearm. Okay, guys? But a copycat weapon means a semi-automatic centerfire rifle that could accept a detachable magazine. It has any two of the following: a folding stock, a grenade launcher, a flare launcher, or a flash suppressor. All right, those are the ones we want to look at. Most of our AR-15s and stuff like that have that integral flash suppressor attached to them. All right, if it's removable, if it's threaded, then you can find yourself in some trouble. If you pin it, less so. Again, it's all at the discretion of the NFA, or I'm sorry, the ATF and their NFA policies. But essentially, if it has any of these features, all right, it is a copycat weapon, and it is regulated differently than your handguns, pistols, and rifles that we generally are allowed to purchase in the state of Maryland. Bounce back up here to the assault pistols. Again, here is a long list of them. If they are any of the following firearms or a copy of them, regardless of the producer or manufacturer, they are considered an assault pistol. All right, and they're banned. Now, let's go ahead. I want to touch on two things real quick before we jump into what an assault long gun is. If we look down here, we jump back here to this 29-inch requirement. Where did I see that? Right here. I want to jump down here to this 29-inch requirement. So, if you guys remember, and I'm sure a lot of you do, the length requirement a while back was 26 inches, all right? And then Maryland in 2013, whenever they released the new policy on firearms, they wanted to take that up to 30 inches. But what do we know, all right? So there used to be this really cool firearms company that some of you may or may not have ever heard of called Beretta, all right? Now, Beretta was stationed here in Maryland. Since then, they've left and they've went on to Tennessee. But this is an example of what money, I think, can get you. Now, what I think is at the time when Beretta was still in Maryland, they were producing this firearm right here. All right. This was a CX4. Okay. Now, when they were making this and they were looking at the laws as they were about to be written in 2013, and they saw that Maryland was going to put a 30-inch restriction on them, I could assume that it bothered them because this firearm has a length of 29.7 in this carbine style firearm. Now, again, I can't say whether or not Beretta had anything to do with that 29-inch requirement. Why it didn't stay 26-inch, I don't know. All I know is that Beretta used to be in Maryland, and at the time, 2013, around that time frame, that is when the law was created and 29 inches was established. It just so happens that Beretta, at the time, was making a firearm that was just shy of 30 inches. I digress. So let's take you guys over here to the assault long gun, if you will. Now, we have to jump. We're leaving criminal law. We're leaving the criminal law section, guys, and we're jumping over here into public safety, all right? Now, we got to scroll down here quite a bit, but we are in Section 5, Subsection 101. We're going to scroll down here to Paragraph R, Subparagraph 2. Right here, all right, guys? This is where it's going to talk to us about regulated firearm, okay? Regulated firearm is a handgun or a firearm that is any of the following specific assault weapons or their copies, regardless of which company produced and manufactured that assault weapon. Doesn't that language sound pretty familiar? Sounds a lot like assault pistol means any of the following firearms or a copy, regardless of the producer or manufacturer. See, Maryland's not very original. They just copy and paste a lot of stuff. But what I want to show you guys, this is where we're getting a lot of questions, and I want to make sure I'm hitting on that. a lot of people have firearms that they're trying to bring from other states, okay? Or they're shopping on Gunbroker or something like that, and they're seeing firearms that they want to buy and bring into Maryland, I should say, but they don't know if it's legal, right? And Maryland State Police doesn't do a great job of giving you those answers. And now, I would say that you should go down to your local gun shop and ask your local FFL for any questions that you have. But if you haven't done that and you've somehow stumbled across our channel here, I'm trying to give you guys those answers, the best of my ability. I am not a lawyer. I'm not an FFL. If I have questions, I do my research, or I go talk to my buddies down at Gun Monkeys Armory in La Plata or J&J Firearms right here in St. Mary's County, all right? That's where I get my answers. But some of you guys have reached out to us and sent me an email, mike@PTPGun.com, saying, hey, what is an assault weapon in the state of Maryland? What is an assault long gun? What's an assault pistol? What's a copycat weapon? That's what this video is intended to do. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this list of what exactly is an assault rifle or an assault long gun, if you will, okay? Essentially, it's anything that's on this list or a copy of anything that's on this list, okay? Regardless of which company produced and manufactured that assault weapon, that specific firearm, all right? Now, as we're scrolling down here, I want to draw your attention to probably the most popular rifle in the United States, and that would be the AR-15. Now, the AR-15 is only listed on this form in one location, and it's a reference to the Colt AR-15, the CAR-15, okay? Why did they only list it once? Well, guys, it's because anything that is a copy of anything on this list is considered an assault weapon, all right? So if we look at the Colt AR-15 and the CAR-15, all imitations of those, except for the Sporter HBAR rifle, are regulated firearms in the state of Maryland. Some of them are prohibited, right, against the law to own, except for the HBAR rifle. Now, why is that? That opened up, when I started to do my investigation into this and preparing for this video, that's where I got tripped up the most, guys, because I wasn't able to find anywhere that gave a specific citation that said exactly what an HBAR was, all right? Now, I know what it stands for. It stands for heavy barrel, but what is that? You know, in the line of work that I'm in, if something is heavy, it means it weighs more than something that is light. Well, is that the case? Can I throw it on a scale? Is there a volume that I need to meet, which is essentially its overall weight, compared to its length, without getting too scientific for you here?
There ain't that many Smurfs in the world.
We're not going to need pseudoephedrine. We're going to make phenylacetone in a tube furnace. Then we're going to use reductive amination to yield methamphetamine, 4 pounds.
So no pseudo.
No pseudo.
So you do have a plan. Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
Right? Maybe that's something I should be looking at? No, because that didn't really apply because we have varying barrel lengths. What about something, and this is what I've been able to find, is if it's stamped HBAR on the barrel, then it is an HBAR. But I also saw people that say it had to be stamped on the lower receiver, which you could interchange barrel rifles, right? Or I'm sorry, rifle barrels on a lower receiver and change it. So if it's stamped on the lower receiver, does it then also have to be stamped on the barrel? Again, I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Drop down the comments below and let me know if you have something, that's stated somewhere, either in the ATF's NFA crap or in your local state where you could find it. Send it to me, because I have to understand X is banned because of Y. Z is not banned because of, A or whatever. Because if I don't understand it, I can't argue against it, right? And I'm not going to be able to pursue our causes here to better empower people to, use their Second Amendment right in the state of Maryland. Regardless, what I was able to find here and going through some digging around, I want to show you guys a couple of things. So I want to show you, first of all, I want to show you this picture. All right, so this is the Colt AR-15 A2 HBAR Sporter, right? Now, as you can see here, and it's kind of grainy, but again, guys, these pictures will be over there on PTPGun.com. You can find it there. It says specifically HBAR on the lower receiver, all right? So, okay, there's that. But what else do we got? What else can we use here for any kind of proof or anything like that? Because here we says, it's got to be an HBAR rifle for it to be non-regulated in the state of Maryland. Well, There's not a lot to find, but what I will say is that there's this guy who's the president of Maryland Shall Issue. Now, 2 years ago, back in 2019, they were trying to get rid of all AR-15s. Now, this guy went to bat for us. Make sure I give you his name. This is a written testimony of Mark Panek. He's the president of Maryland Shall Issue. And this was in opposition to that bill that came out a few years ago, back in 2019, that we all know about, right? But essentially, even here, it doesn't quite say what a heavy barrel is. It just says why it is, right? A heavy barrel means that the rifle is equipped with a heavy, the HBAR designation means that the rifle is equipped with a heavy barrel. A heavy barrel adds a lot of weight to the rifle, but a rifle thus equipped is more accurate than a rifle with a normal barrel because a heavy barrel heats up much more slowly than a normal barrel. Heat is the number one enemy of accuracy. A heavy barrel is thus significantly more accurate, which seems counterintuitive to me. If you're trying to ban something, you would want to ban the most accurate, not the least accurate. Where his business case or his opposition or his, I should say his, the point he's trying to make here is that there's two locations in the state of Maryland. Our boys over at LWRC and our other buddies down there at AdCore Defense are making these heavy barrel variants of the AR-15. Their entry to their, barrier of entry here is the cost point of greater than $2,000 just to get in their base model, right? It also talks about the, if we were to put these guys out of business, we're losing jobs, they're losing their livelihoods, all that stuff, right? It also goes to talk about when, from the beginning, HBAR rifles were exempted from regulations as regulated firearms when the category was first established in 1996 with enactment of Maryland Gun Violence Act of 1996, SB 215. It was in there where it said basically the same thing, guys. It said this, the same language here, Colt AR-15 Sporter HBAR rifle. And that's been around all the way since, as he's saying in here, all the way since 1996 under Senate Bill 215. Nothing's changed. I'm not going to pull that up. It says the same thing. They have always been treated differently under Maryland law and for good reasons. All right. Now in 2013 with the enactment of SB 281, that's the one that we're always pulling on here. That's the one that came up with these different codes like the ones we've quoted today, such as Criminal Code 5101 and the Public Safety Article 5101 and the Criminal Law Code 4301, the ones that we pulled up here today. It defines what those assault weapons are. It defines what the assault pistol, the assault long gun, all that different stuff, the copycat long guns, right? But in there, it specifically says the HBARs are allowed. So if you guys can somehow, like I said, tell me what the definition of an HBAR is. Maryland State Police, if you guys are listening, you have not returned my phone calls. So if you got a buddy on the, over there in the licensing division or in the firearms division or anything like that, have them get a hold of me. All right, super simple, Mike at PTPGun.com. If you guys have an answer to what the hell an HBAR is, let me know. I was at one of my friend's gun shops the other day, and I was talking to him about the HBAR designation. He had said something like the gas impingement tube, the gas block needed to be greater than 3/4 of an inch past the necking on the barrel or something like that. Show me in writing where it says that. Right. And then there was other peoples that had said that, these local manufacturers, all they're doing is taking their stamp and just stamping it HBAR. And since it's stamped, it must be HBAR, right? Well, who the hell knows? Right. And I can't stand that. I have to have the information. I did my best to find it, guys. I couldn't find it. If you could find it, send it over to me. Mike at PTPGun.com, or better yet, give me a phone call. All right. Super simple. Phone number will be over there on the website, PTPGun.com. You can call me up right there, all right? So one of the things that I was teasing here was the Maryland handgun roster. Again, there'll be links up in the description above there, guys, to take you over that video. But there is something similar for rifles, all right? And again, these links will be over there on the website, be in the description below. So this is the Maryland State Police Firearms Search. What this is not the handgun roster. You guys can head over there. But what I want to show you is this is where it talks a lot about, is it a rifle? Is it centerfire? Is it this or is it that, right? These are some of the questions they have. But what they've done is they've created this list. It's the reviewed firearms list. A lot of you guys haven't heard of this yet. A lot of you guys are really familiar with the handgun roster, but you're not familiar with this page here. I want you guys to pay attention to this. So like I said, if you're coming here from a different state or if you've got friends that are moving here from a different state, you want them to check their firearms against this list. If you are shopping online and you want to bring in a firearm and you haven't made it down to your local FFL yet, this is super simple. This is something you could check out. You can find out if it's banned or not banned in the state of Maryland right here on this list. Now, I've already selected a few of them, but the ones that I want to show you for sure is Armalite, right? We all know the Armalite AR15. They're all banned except for the AR10. It's not banned, all right? The Armalite M15 3rd Gen 18, it's a heavy barrel version, so that's why it's not banned. And again, the M15A2 National Match should tell you something. That is the competition version. It is not banned because it is also a heavy barrel version, all right? But a lot of these other ones are. We'll go ahead and close out Armalite, and I'm going to take you down to Colt because that's where we're seeing basically everything that we've talked about so far when it comes to assault long guns. If you look here, just about every version of the AR-15 is banned except the heavy barrel variant. All right. Until we get into this one, this is not cosmetically similar to an enumerated firearm and not a copycat weapon, right? Most of them are not banned because they are neither a copycat nor cosmetically similar to anything on the current enumerated banned weapon list. All right, the enumerated banned weapon list, guys, is this. As I was telling you, make sure we pay attention to the numbers, right? These are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on the long guns, and these are the numbers here on the pistols. All right, so if it's not a copycat and it's not directly on one of those two lists, then then it's not going to be banned. But those are your enumerated lists. All right. Now there's some more. So the Dragunovs, right? The AK-47s banned. We don't like those. What about Kalashnikovs? Right, that was another one that I was looking at. Here we go. All right, so the Kalashnikov, the KR-103 is banned. All right, so the KR-103, that is banned. All right, it's a copy of an enumerated banned weapon. That's going to be, I believe, your AK-47s. Right, here you go. That's banned. All right, here's your AK-47 essentially. That's banned. You're not going to be able to buy that. But another Kalashnikov that is not banned is the KS-12T. Why is that? Well, it's because it's a shotgun, right? And doesn't have a foldable stock. It's got a collapsible stock, all right? But that is not a copy because it is not an AK-47, although it is made by Kalashnikov. It does look similar, but it's a shotgun, so it's not going to be banned, all right? And then we go down to our buddies at LWRC. Their M6 is a heavy barrel copy of a Colt AR-15 and as such is exempted from the definition of regulated firearms pursuant to the codes that we were just looking at. All of their stuff is not banned. None of it meets a copycat or none of it is a copy of the regulated firearms, the banned firearms. All right. And there's a bunch of them on here, guys. And again, there'll be links to all of this down in the description below. Look at your Kel-Tecs, right? Some of them, of course, your bullpups are banned. Some of their stuff isn't banned, like the Sub 2000. It's not cosmetically similar. So again, these are your reasons, guys. But anyhow, I'm digressing. I'm digging into a rabbit hole here. What I want to tell you is that there is a list similar to the handgun roster that tells you if a long gun is banned in the state of Maryland and kind of tells you why. All right. So what have we talked about, guys? Assault pistols. There's a list of them. If they're like that, if they're copies of those, doesn't matter the manufacturer, it's banned. We talked about copycat weapons, what the definition of a copycat weapon is, right? Again, all of that stuff will be over on the blog. And then we talked about assault long guns, what's banned, what's not. We went into the definition of an HBAR, and then I showed you specifically where you could find if a long gun is banned in the state of Maryland. Now, a little teaser, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up in the near future on the AR, specifically the AR-15 platform. We're going to investigate, what makes it a rifle outside of Maryland, right? So not just the heavy barrel variants, but what makes a AR-15 a rifle? What makes it a short barreled rifle? What makes it a pistol, right? And a little teaser, something that I've seen a lot of guys doing on YouTube lately that kind of spurs me up, all right? It's something that doesn't help our movement in the Second Amendment community, all right? So myself and Ryan and several of our buddies have AR-15 pistols. What makes it an AR-15 pistol? Make sure you subscribe below. We're going to get into that. But essentially, one of the characteristics is that it doesn't have a fixed stock. It has a pistol stabilizing brace, all right? Now, there is a definition of a pistol, what a pistol is, okay? I want to make sure I show you guys that. Where is that at? That's right here. All right. I want to go ahead and show you guys this. More importantly, it's a definition of what a handgun is. And this came from the Department of Justice, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. All right. Handgun is defined under federal law to mean, in part, firearm which has a short stock and is designed to be held and fired by the use of a single hand. Why is that important? All right. So what I've seen people doing on YouTube lately is putting a vertical hand grip or vertical foregrip on their AR-15 pistols. If that happens, guys, you're breaking the law. All right. I want to show you guys. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to this. I'm going to go right back over here to the same document. This came out from the ATF. All right. This is specifically talking about the vertical foregrip. All right. ATF has long held that by installing a vertical foregrip on a handgun, the handgun is no longer designed to be held and fired by the use of a single hand. Therefore, if individuals install a vertical foregrip on a handgun, they're making a firearm requiring registration with ATF's NFA branch. Making an unregistered AOW is punishable by a fine and 10 years imprisonment. All right. Additionally, possession of an unregistered AOW is also punishable by fine and 10 years imprisonment. What does that mean, guys? Don't put a vertical foregrip on your AR-15 pistol. All right. Now, with that, I encourage you guys to stick around. We plan on doing, like I said, a whole segment on AR-15s that aren't specifically focused on Maryland, but of course, you know, we will be looking at it from that Maryland angle as well. If you guys have any comments or topics or anything like that for the show, make sure you send them over here. You can either drop them down in the comments below, or you can send them over to me, Mike, at PTPGun.com, or head over to the website and message us there, guys. We're going to be putting out tons of content, lots of field stripping, lots of product reviews, podcast episodes. We're going to be doing more of this stuff. Maryland Mondays. We are currently in talks with one of the nation's largest self-defense law providers, if you will, insurance providers. And I think we've got some big stuff brewing with them, guys. So there's a lot in the works, guys. The only way that you can make sure that you're not missing out on that stuff is dropping down below, hitting that subscribe button, turning on notifications, and then help us grow this channel by sharing it with a friend and interacting. That's just as simple. Hey guys, found you on YouTube, down in the comments or something like that. With that, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Congratulations to our most recent giveaway winner, Mr. B. Butler. He's reached out to us. He's reached out to us. He's going to get a massive prize. If you want to win more, guys, make sure that you, first of all, you can go watch up here. This describes kind of what we did. And if you want to win more, guys, all you have to do is subscribe and then leave comments on our videos. Make sure your profile is public. With that, guys, as always, learn, defend, prevail. We're out.